guys, it's Kirby. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we are doing an eyeshadow palette review from Blend Buddy Cosmetics. This is an independent brand. I have been following Blend Bunny for a little while, and she decided to launch Blend Bunny Cosmetics and has recently launched 3 palettes, yes I did get all of them, and a brush set. I don't have the brush set. So we are going to be reviewing some eyeshadow palettes for the next couple videos on my channel. I'm so excited. I've watched so many videos. I watch her use them, I've watched people on Instagram use them, and I'm so excited to dive into these palettes. I am going to do each palette as a separate review. They're 30 pan palettes, so they are relatively large, and I think that they need to have separate videos to kind of cover everything involved. So we're going to start with the OG launch of the Blend Bunny Cosmetics palette, which is the Blends palette. It is a 30 matte pigment palette. As I just showed you, it's a rainbow palette. It literally comes with every color you could ever think of. Brights, pastels, deeps. You can make so many looks from these. This retails for $39, so if you're breaking that up per pan, it's about $1.30 per individual pan. It does not have a mirror, which is probably like my biggest gripe looking at it currently, is because a palette this big I like to travel with, and so I would like a mirror with it, but that's besides the point, I guess. How she has it broken up is that these are, how did she have it? These pastel rows are the transition tones. These bright rows are the building tones, and these outer really dark rows are the depth tones. In all of her palettes, she has a transition, depth, and building tone row. Some of the things that I love about this palette compared to some of my other rainbow palettes is the way that it is set up and that it is functional for pretty much every user, from like professional makeup artist to novice to color enthusiast to whatever. I love the way that this is set up, 100%. One, you can go just in these little trios and you can have an eye look all by yourself in these little trios. So you have about 10 options if you're looking for like monochrome looks in terms of blending. Then you can blend throughout the whole row as well. So then you have 5 really intricate blends that take you basically from like one side of the spectrum to the other. Some of them are going to be a little tricky, like the yellow to blue or the orange to purple, but I think especially with these like transitional tones in the middle, it would make the transition so much easier to make than if you just tried to go straight from like orange to purple. You'd get a bloody mess because those on the color wheel are opposing. I also, in my particular thought process of this palette, you can also go up and down as well. Now those are obviously going to be a little bit more tricky because like they aren't meant for like blending out into like a more pastel shade. They're meant for individuals, I guess. I'm just so excited about this palette. The layout is like everything. I own a lot of rainbow palettes, so this one especially, when it's like, when she revealed the layout of it, I was like, Let me talk also a little bit about the actual purchasing of this. One, the Blend Bunny Cosmetics website, very easy to navigate. It is very simple. There is nothing like too fancy or complicated about it. You can shop, add to cart, check out. You can use PayPal, as well as I think a couple of other like virtual pay assistants like Google Pay and things like that. I purchased these on a Thursday and they came on Monday. They were coming from Texas, I believe. So I live in Ohio, so I purchased these on Thursday. They literally shipped like the very next day, and then I got them on Monday, and that was just through USPS. It wasn't through like FedEx, UPS, anything special like that. That's incredible. I don't think I've ever gotten makeup that quickly. Not from like Ulta, Sephora, any of the major companies out there. I haven't had to deal with their customer service at all because everything came in tip-top shape, but again, reviews have led that those are amazing as well. So, I'm going to get into the swatches of this. I'm going to show you a couple of the I'm going to show you me actually swatching a couple of the colors while I tell you a little bit about what she says on the website of the palette, and then I'm going to show you all 30 shades. Hopefully I can get them all on my arm, so we'll have to see for that. So on the website, what it says about blends is every deeply pigmented, easily blended matte shade you need to create a seamless blend in any color combination. This palette is comprised of both eyeshadows and pressed pigments. The shades are assorted in trios of super deep hues to light pastel, transition shades conveniently placed for blending. Created for all makeup artists and enthusiasts, no matter where you are in your makeup journey. So here are all 30 swatches. I am incredibly impressed by how a lot of them swatched. Mattes usually have an incredibly difficult time swatching as compared to shimmers, basically because of how they're formulated and they're pressed. This is a mixed bag in terms of like pressed eyeshadows and pressed pigments. So with some of the pressed pigments, you probably are going to have a little bit more of a staining quality, especially like on the darker colors. The first thing that I want to talk about, and you might not be able to see it because I only did like one swipe with the shadows, is this Cream and Sugar, this white shade. That's actual white. I don't think I've ever had a white eyeshadow in any of my palettes that was pure white. They usually have like a cream or a yellowish hue to them. Also, these pastels, again, the camera might not be able to be picking them up as strongly as they are showing in person. I'm very fair skinned, so the pastels are going to show up much better on my skin tone compared to some others. They are showing up incredibly, incredibly well. Again, the color palettes are just, it's just making me feel all kinds of things, and I'm so excited to play around with it. Alright, now that we've talked about the price, the palette, the website, the everything like that, we're going to do a small eye look. I've already done my foundation and my eyebrows off camera, so what we're going to do is prep my eyes with a little bit of concealer, and then we're going to dig into the palette itself. And we're just going to do something kind of simple and fun. Lots of people who have been reviewing this palette have done like really intricate looks, and they look beautiful and gorgeous. I just want to kind of show how the eyeshadows blend really nicely and quickly, and you can do lots of different eye looks. I'm going to be using this probably quite a bit on my Instagram, so if you are looking for more intricate looks, go to Instagram. Although, what am I saying? This is probably going to turn into a much more intricate look anyways, because I can't help myself. So I'm really intrigued by like this trio up here, this like tealy trio. However, I am going to be going out and celebrating Valentine's Day tonight because I'm filming this way earlier than this video is going up. So I think I'm going to go with like this magenta-y little trio down here, maybe dipping into this like pink. I think the shade that I'm going to start with is Whip, which is this like dark magenta berry-y-ish color. And I'm going to use an e.l.f. eye crease brush, just this little guy. And I'm going to start on the outside of my eye and go in, and I'm going to kind of put this in slash a little bit above my crease because I have a hooded eye situation, so I really want it to show, but I don't want it to be like the main color of the eye look. Then I'm going to take this shade Chase, which is the like bright base color, on a Morphe M507, which is like a fluffy small blending brush. And I'm just gonna blend over that vamp color and kind of blend it up. Then I'm going to take this shade Promise on a fluffy blending brush. This one's from Wet n Wild, and I'm just going to buff that underneath my brow bone. And then I'm just going to go back in and kind of deepen all of the shades. Now we're going to switch to this row of purples, and I'm going to be working from Bewitched to Signs to Giggle to kind of create like a little bit of a halo effect, and we'll see how this works. I might be trying to do a little too much, so we'll see. Then I'm going in with Signs. And then finally Giggle, which is the like lavender color. Oh my gosh, I love that. It needs a little bit more blending. It needs a little bit more cleaned up, especially with the pink, but I need to talk about this. First of all, I only primed my eyes. I did not use any other type of concealers or primers or anything throughout this whole eye look. That light purple in the middle, chef's kiss, you guys, chef's kiss. Also, these rows blend very nicely together. So I was first taking this like magenta-y shade row and then trio, and then I went up to the purple, and they're blending so nicely together. I will say that I've been using kind of more dense brushes versus like fluffier brushes, and I will say that I think that the fluffier brushes do just pick up the colors and pick up the eyeshadows and lay them down a little bit better than some of the more like dense eyeshadow brushes, if that makes sense. That's a personal thought though. I don't know if other people feel that way, or maybe it's just on like my eyes or anything like that, but oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to do this eye. Hopefully it matches this one, and then we'll be back to finish up the lower lash line. This is everything I've wanted and more. Finished the face, finished the lips, added some lashes, finished this eye, so we're going to finish the bottom part of this eye, the bottom part, the lower lash line, and all we're doing is kind of mimicking the top. I took Bewitched and Chase and Signs, and I just kind of buffed them all together, so I'm going to now do that for you. I remember which brushes I used. So first you do Bewitched on both sides of the lash line, the lower lash line. Then I went in with Chase, which is the bright magenta color, and I kind of connected them. Then I used Signs, which is the bright purple, and I blended that out, or rather blended the dark and the pink together. Then I used Giggle, which is the lavender, to blend out the dark purple. And I used Promise, which is the light pink, to blend out the pink. I put LA Girl Neon Shockwave in my waterline. Finish it off with some mascara. And there you have it. That's the look. This is what we came up with, and I freaking love it. Look at that. Look at it. Oh my gosh. I am in love with this look right now. I know I said I was gonna do something simple, and to be honest, with the way this palette is laid out, this is simple. I didn't put hardly any effort into this at all, because like the colors are all right there. They're all right next to each other. It was easy to like blend them together. Hence the name, blends. Okay, first of all, if you're a freelance makeup artist, even if your level is way above mine, you need to have this. Even if you're just starting out, I used to do some freelancing, and let me tell you, having a rainbow palette is necessary, because sometimes your client on the fly is like, hey, can I have red? And you're like, that's not what we discussed. Well, that's what the client wants then. This Yes, you absolutely need this. It has every single shade. It has blend shades, which is amazing. You don't have to carry around 5 different palettes. Every makeup artist needs this. If you are like a novice makeup lover and you stick to your more neutrals, this might not necessarily be the palette for you. However, I would argue that I think everyone needs a brightly colored palette in their life. For special events, for holidays, for maybe you just want to try to experiment with some color. If you're getting into makeup, if you're buying a gift for someone, if you're doing anything like that, please check this palette out. Like, honestly, chef's kiss. Like, it blended so easily. They worked really well with a brush. They swatched very nicely. I am so blown away. It's not even funny. I mean, I knew I was gonna be blown away because, again, I've been like stalking Blend Bunny's Instagram accounts forever. But for an indie brand, especially an indie brand, to produce a palette this nice is crazy. It's also really, really thin if you are going to travel with it, if you are a makeup artist. I know sometimes a 30 pan palette seems intimidating, and I honestly thought they were going to be a lot bigger than they are because online the pictures make them seem rather large. But this is, I mean, compared to like my face or my hand, this is very easy to work with. It's very easy and compact. It has a nice like magnetic close. The palette itself is made of like a light sort of like cardboardy material. I don't mean like cardboard, but like it's very lightweight. It's not going to like weigh your kit down or anything. It's not made of like plastic, but it's a very nice and sturdy. Oh my gosh. I love this palette. I'm going to link it down in the description box below, so if you are interested, you can check it out on your own time. I will link all of the other products that I used on my face in the description box below, so if you are interested, you can check it out on your own time. But I love it. Highly, highly, highly recommend. Now I'm so excited to review Surge and Dollhouse, the other 2 palettes. Please be on the lookout for those in the next couple weeks. I'm so excited. All right. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big old thumbs up. As always, please be sure to subscribe and hit the little notification bell. I would hate for you to miss out on any more videos. Thanks so much for watching, guys.